Welcome. This is the
WerePanda
Podcast.
Featuring
Daniel,
Levi,
Alan, Aaron,
and Kylie.
He didn't say
welcome.
I
wanted to say it so badly.
Yeah, and Alan, you would have totally.
I felt
ruined
everyone's gaze upon me.
Yeah,
so
I was
like,
watching you closely.
The end is mine.
There you go.
You get the end. You get the end when she's not here.
Yeah.
You get
Get
a
the-
temporary.
You
Get the butt end.
Is that what you want?
No.
Well,
Another week has gone by. Another 2 weeks
Yeah.
since last you saw. However, probably not.
I know. Yeah, depending on when you see this, but having this one come out when it's coming out, which is a lot sooner than all of our other ones, because we were hoping to have this one out by the end of the week. Levi.
Don't look at me.
It's
Don't
good.
look at the person who's in charge of making that happen. How does that make sense?
Don't look at the man behind the mask.
Anyways, good news is
Curtain. What is that?
Curtain.
It is the
It's
curtain,
Pay
right?
no
Well, I
attention
knew
to the man behind the curtain.
That's it. It's like,
Don't look at the. How can you look at the man behind the mask? He's wearing a mask.
Yeah, that
You
also
take off
is
his mask,
That's
Alan.
why it's
You
also
just-
applicable.
You look past him to the guy behind the mask.
Nice.
Anyways, for those of you who may be listening to this solely on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, this is an exciting week because we finally put up and released the WerePanda Productions website. Woo!
Yeah! Wow!
Yeah, I wish we could.
There was supposed to be more
Yeah,
excitement.
Internet.
I was
Internet.
waiting. I was waiting to hear all the cheers from outside of here, like everyone.
Yeah, from our 127
Yeah.
fans.
That's
Hey,
a
they're
lot
all
of
close
fans.
by.
But we got it up. It's up there.
Taylor Swift would be proud
Definitely.
of us. Jealous, even.
She
I don't
just
get
shake
that.
it off.
Why Taylor Swift?
Thinking of another popular person, Alan.
And Taylor Swift is your go-to person.
Wait, you don't think she's popular?
I think she's popular, but Taylor Swift
Oh,
is
I'm-
your go-to
I'm sorry.
person.
It's not like Vladimir Putin.
That makes more sense to me
What?
than Taylor Swift.
Why?
Commie?
Political stuff. He's been in the news a lot recently.
He doesn't wear shirts.
He grapples with bears and wins.
Little boys.
I haven't seen any little boy memes.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing that?
Well, you need
Levi discovered
you need
Facebook
to-
today.
Levi goes to
Not today,
subnet.
but it was rediscovered yesterday.
After all this talk
Internet
of I'm
memes were
never
discovered
going to
recently,
use
too.
Facebook again, and I don't like Facebook, and I'm making a separate account that I'm not going to use.
I did all those things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, stick to your guns,
I am. I'm sticking to the fact that I can change opinions.
Oh.
So you're wishy-washy?
No, I just decide how I want to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish,
go one
sometimes
way.
I wash, but I'm not wishy-washy.
Never seen you wash.
Well, good. I'm glad.
'Cause you're
Considering they
supposed
live
to be
together, that's
washing.
sad.
No. I mean washing in general.
He meant cleaning. I don't clean.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
But I took it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, to go along with the website release, one thing I want to talk about was a recent trip to Score, Utah. Now, Score is a
Yeah! What?
not the
Oh,
right
not
time,
that.
Levi.
Too soon?
Not a goal,
Too
Utah.
Too late.
No, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so it's an organization that provides free tutoring for small businesses, which of course we are, as you all know.
What?
Shut
Your
up,
business?
Alan.
We're
going
small?
to be.
Is that a shot at my height, Daniel?
I thought
Alan,
this
you're
was a
taller
hobby.
than me.
There are male enhancement pills, Alan, if you...
Whoa. If there's one thing I'm tall in.
Anyways,
We
For
didn't
everything
need
else,
that.
there's male enhancement pills.
We weren't doing the advertising portion yet,
I'm
guys.
sorry.
anyways, one of the things that was exciting about it is he looked at our website, which of course has only been recently put up, so it hasn't been out for a while, and he's in advertising. He has like 3 websites he does, and he said that our website was really good. So to me, that
means our website is
that
good.
means our website is good. I mean, he's credible.
We had one man.
person's opinion.
He's credible. He's a credible source, and I like how I designed the website.
And I like what he said to me.
You guys said you liked the website, and
That's
of
good.
course, you
I had
guys
to, I'm your
wouldn't
friend.
lie to me.
Oh, that just totally changes what
Yeah.
your statement just was.
A real friend wouldn't lie to their friend, especially after all the times they told him to double check all the things he did to make sure they liked how it looked. But I thought it was really cool. He seemed pretty impressed by what we'd done, so I don't know.
I like how you were able to find the bamboo font.
Yeah, that one was hard. That one took me a while, but
That's cool.
I ended up getting that. So
Well, recently, Alan also got us all hooked on Trivia Crack.
Yes, he did.
Is it
Oh my
from-
gosh.
it's like trivia
crack.
on crack.
No, it's like I'm
It's
taking
crack
crack
on trivia.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny because like I've been using that crack thing a lot too. What else was cash flow, Monopoly on crack?
Oh, yeah.
Alan,
It's almost
is there
as if
something
I'm-
you need to tell us.
The logo for the cash flow was weird because there's like this like dirty rat on the front of it. Like you can tell he's like sleazy.
He
Is
is
that the point of the
sleazy.
game?
Well, so
To be
so
sleazy?
it's because
To be sleazy.
you're trying to get out of the rat race,
Oh, I know that
You
game.
know?
I played it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
and so
No,
It's an
that's
expensive
Mousetrap, Levi. That was Mousetrap.
No.
Totally
it is an
different.
expensive game. We found a really good deal on it.
It's just
though.
it's a funny thing. It's like we're teaching you through this game how to get out of the rat race. It's like really though you could have just I can read this online.
It's a fun game though.
It's-
Like
it
the
is
game
still a fun
itself
game,
is
yeah.
fun. Like
Well,
that's
Let's-
what I like about it is it's just a fun.
When
game.
I played it though, my job was the janitor, and I wasn't very happy.
I feel like it's
Whoa.
easier though when you're at the lower income side because you don't have as many expenses, and so after playing it a lot,
That's
then
not true.
well, no, okay, no,
Considering I
based
The
on-
haven't
game
played
teaches
the
me
game.
Yeah,
that
based
it's not
on the
bad.
game.
Real life teaches me that's not
no,
true.
like when it comes to the game, the more expenses you have, like the richer you are and the more expenses you have, the more annoying it is like to get out of the rat race and everything, which is highly irregular because that's not how it is in real life.
Yeah.
the richer
So-
you are, the less expenses you have to worry about. They're
Exactly.
there, but you don't have to worry
worry
about
about
them.
So,
Someone else does it for you.
Or choose to have them.
but anyways, yeah, we got hooked on Trivia Crack.
I want to
Which-
state right now that I'm not hooked.
Do you play it?
I play it less than all of you
Yeah.
guys.
I'll
Well-
have you know, I am.
I'm
I-
at level
Very much
44.
I know
so
I am because like I'm like the top amongst my friends for like this week in answered questions, and so
Even me?
yeah.
This week? Oh, this week.
It won't
yeah.
let me.
Yeah.
It won't let me do that because I don't have 10 friends on the game.
Who do you have on the game?
None.
Do you have my mom?
So
You could add my
Oh
mom.
no, I haven't.
She'll challenge you in Spanish. And
No.
You'll just sit there like,
No.
what?
she only challenged you in Spanish because we're supposed to be learning
It's
Spanish.
hard.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is that it like has become competitive where like anytime one of us is winning, I'm like sending a text to the other person. Oh, suck it!
And like you guys
I've been
are,
on
you
the
guys are
receiving
sitting there
end.
posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
Alan and Aaron's like,
Like commenting
Aaron
on-
wins. It's like, oh, suck it, Alan. And then Alan wins. Like, oh, I guess the last time was a fluke. Then Aaron wins again. And it's like, oh, I guess it wasn't a fluke. And I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, it's like go a few games, try to get some more
it's,
going on.
no, it's one game at a time. That's
I
the
just-
point.
Daniel, you just don't
You just-
understand.
you just-
You don't understand.
I don't
the
understand.
pressure.
Snort this, you'll understand.
Yeah. I just don't understand what's the point of being so competitive on a trivia game full of useless
Because
knowledge.
of competition.
Daniel,
That's
that
just
is the
point.
only thing I know is useless knowledge, and so if I don't do
Yeah.
well on it, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing,
It's
Daniel.
a free app, so if I don't do well on a free app, what good am I to society?
Yeah. It's not like, you spend your time video editing and you are a, major in
What are you?
psychology.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Rub it in. Because that's been so useful in my
Because
life.
you're amazing and you're...
Oh yeah, tell me how
Yeah.
useful Trivia Crack has been, Alan.
I've made more friends with Trivia Crack than I
Oh.
did with my bachelor's degree.
That's kind of sad.
No,
That sounds really
I have had nothing that I've gained from my bachelor's degree. 0. So I've done more with Trivia Crack than I've done with a 4-year degree.
Apparently, you've learned bitterness.
I have learned this.
You learned something.
I'm very bitter.
You have a
Learn bitterness and
psychological disorder now about your degree.
But you know what it is.
At
You know what that disorder is.
at least I can self-diagnose myself. Not well, but somewhat.
At a bachelor's level. No psychiatrist.
No. No.
I prescribe more alcohol.
No,
As he grabs
I
his
think
bottle.
I think Trivia Crack is the best medicine.
Oh yeah,
for me.
that's his drug. That's you know how people
Self-medicating now.
yeah, he's self-medicating himself with Trivia Crack. One more game.
My life is a lot trivia.
I feel it makes me feel good, guys. I know the answers.
I've gotta tell
I'm
you,
smart
I
on
can
Trivia
quit
Crack.
whenever I
I
want.
was saying that too. It's like every time I play, I'm like, I feel like Slumdog Millionaire. Like I just anytime it's a question I know and I can think back to when I learned that, I'm just like, oh.
My favorite is
This
when
could
it's
be a
knowledge
great
that
mini
people wouldn't
video.
really know.
You know, like a Trivia
Crack
Crack.
mini video.
Well, so my thing,
Some draw
like I'm
trivia.
happy when I'm going, but there's always someone that I'm really playing against and really wanting them to, like if I lose, I want to be my turn again, so I
Yeah.
want them to play it. So
Yeah.
at first I just go through everyone, and then their name comes back up, and there's a couple people that you play with, but eventually you run out, and then you're like,
Come on.
come on, people, come on, refresh.
Do you
Does that mean that they're
Why
winning?
don't you-
Did they already beat me?
Yeah.
You look down at the finished games. No,
Nope,
it's still their turn. Go.
Well, what I hate is at the very, very beginning, like my first game. I think it was was it you or was it against you? No, it was against you, Alan.
Oh, he cares.
I was level 1, and
Of
I
course.
got
Your first
all
game, really?
6. I got all 6 in one go. I beat you in one turn. And I'm like, this is easy, you know? How could nobody do this? And now I get questions that I'm like, what the crap?
I'm pretty sure it gets harder. Like the questions become more elaborate as
As
you
you get
level up.
level up.
I don't know, because
It's
sometimes
half and
there's
half.
yeah.
Like every time I play against Elizabeth, I get like a string of all these super easy questions, and
It
like she
seems
hates
like
me because
it's
I always
just
beat her.
random.
But yeah, it feels like it's just random, honestly.
But like, it led me to believe I was going to do much better on the game because I just flew
So,
through
that's
it.
why he's not very addicted to it.
Yeah, and
False
then
hope.
all of a sudden
It's
I
like
was
that
just like,
first
oh.
level.
Then he got spanked. Yeah, I don't like this
Then
game.
Aaron sends me the first challenge. I'm like, what the crap? And I get like 5 right. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yep.
Those challenges are
The
fun.
mind of Daniel.
Suck. I hate the challenge ones because like you'll get 10 or like other people will get 8, and all of my questions are like, in what city was Plato born? Like,
But-
I don't
But
know.
the challenge ones are the same
Shallow ones,
questions
everyone
for
gets the
everyone.
exact same.
That's not
questions.
true because
Yeah,
he
I've gotten-
did the same
I've
challenge
done
as
the
me,
same challenge
and
too.
I gave him the answers, and he didn't get those
I
questions.
didn't get those questions. Yeah.
Weird.
Me and
All I
Elizabeth the
hear
same
is
challenge
that
one after the other, and it was
I
the
was
exact same.
cheating.
No, it wasn't. She was asking the questions and she forgot that I was part of the challenge. And so I gave my answer and she got it wrong.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, well, at least now I'll know when it pops
sure it
up.
was
For
See,
the
me.
the
same
challenge is
challenge?
fun until you are the one that got 1 out of 6 right.
Or
And
1
then
out of
it's not
12.
so-
1 out of 12.
If you do the full challenge, but if you do a challenge on the
Yeah.
ground in
If you do a challenge one-on-one, those are the same questions.
Mhm.
But the tons of people,
I
those
thought-
are all different.
I
I've had like most of the times.
most of the
they're
time they
same.
were because me and Elizabeth did like a couple one right after the other, and they
All
were
right. Anyways,
Well,
Okay.
Anyway,
as you can tell, we are very addicted to this
Yes.
game.
into it.
which I no, I'm not.
I
Gonna
blame
do that.
Alan.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, for his
This goes really good into something I have there. You know, if no one has come back from the future to stop me from getting you addicted, then how could it be a bad thing? Think about that.
What if playing prevented time travel from occurring so they cannot come back to tell you?
Think
to quit?
about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not the
what if
case.
trivia-
Drop the mic. And
What
walk
if-
away.
We're done, guys.
What if
that was a good one.
crack was created by aliens to make us stupid so that we never make
progress.
time travel?
Yeah, because trivia
'cause
crack really
I
has
know-
caused that kind of.
We don't know
we
that.
don't-
For all
Did
we
anyone
know,
from the
like,
future come
For all
back?
we know, Flappy Bird was their first attempt. Okay, they keep trying
The
with
whole
these
app
games.
store is just
Yeah,
run by aliens.
the phones,
Apple.
the computer.
NASA could be doing should be working on something right now, and they're all sitting there like, I don't know what happened in Madrid. Like, they're
I'm
just
sure
freaking
that's
out.
not the case.
What did we send into space in 1990?
What did we do, guys? What did we do?
What's a Soyuz?
Who was on the Apollo mission?
Crap, wait. What's the third rock? What's the third rock from the
Was it
sun?
Neil Armstrong or Lance Armstrong?
Damn it, NASA! You're supposed to know these things.
But I had a fun Christmas,
Did you?
and it did snow on Christmas, which I was.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, it was
I was sad.
interesting.
You know what's funny about that? You know all those car places that say, if it snows on Christmas, we'll pay your payments for the
yeah.
next 2 years.
They probably.
But they usually say it has to snow this much between this time period. This Christmas was one of those Christmases where it snowed a lot in the time period that they said. So those places are paying a lot of people's car
Nice.
payments.
Oh yeah, dude.
I did not know car places.
Some of them do,
I've heard that.
Yeah, on the
one.
radio.
on the radio.
But-
They'll say like,
I don't
it's our
know.
white Christmas special.
It's like they do it like in November. They say buy a car now, and if it snows on Christmas, we'll pay your payments. But in the fine print, it says it has to snow between like 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. and it has to snow at least like 3 inches or something. But
Oh.
this Christmas,
This Christmas was weird because it didn't really I think it snowed one time before Christmas and that was it.
it didn't.
And
It didn't
it
snow
it didn't
even
at all.
one
Okay.
time.
It
before.
did. It just didn't stick. It snowed like the physical action
Okay, fine.
of flakes from the
Fine.
sky occurred.
Well, it's funny, like, because they specify, like, in the valley, or do they just specify, like, a sectioned off portion of their, like, lot?
I think it's in the valley.
You have
I
someone
think
that's
it's-
pouring
Yeah,
salt on
they're
it.
just like, they have a sun lamp or
sun
something
lamp on
out
it,
there,
melting
just
it.
melting the snow. See, no.
See? Oh, it's I don't know what
But there's
happened.
5
There's
inches
snow
all around
right
it.
there. I don't know.
We said this spot.
It was this spot specifically.
Did you read the fine print? It does say we would have
But-
a heat lamp.
I got you guys gifts, and I got Daniel and Kylie a full sheet set.
It was a full size.
Well, no, it was a full sheet set,
Oh.
which I took to mean that it was all the sheets. Like, it was the
Complete,
sheets,
like,
it
full
was
and
like
complete.
the cover sheets, like, it was
the
Oh,
complete
that's
set.
pillowcases.
The pillowcases.
It was a
wasn't-
full set, but what
But-
it really was a full
set.
size.
Yeah.
So
Did you take it back?
definitely
we
didn't
took it back,
work
and
with-
they only had
They
full
only had the
sizes.
full size.
Well, why don't you give it to me? I have a full.
Because I already got you stuff.
What did
I
you
did
get
get-
Levi?
He got me the Knights of the
Bracelet?
Blood
Oh yeah,
nut
And
and
the
the
Assassin's
Blood
Creed hats.
Blood Oath, yeah,
gotcha.
which is awesome. It was awesome.
We all got cool stuff for Christmas.
It was
I
it was
got
actually
Pokemon
that
Stadium.
gift that made
I'm
me
the most
realize
wonderful waifu in
I
the
am
world.
obsessed with Sword Art Online.
You're like, oh my gosh,
When I
this
saw
is
it, I thought,
bad.
this is the best gift ever. And I was like, this is sad.
That's what made you realize?
That
like,
was it.
we've known for a while.
No, that was the moment.
That's
of
when he knew
realization.
he had a problem.
Yeah. I liked it.
This is a good problem
This is
to have.
scary. So
New Year's resolution, give up trivia crack.
we
Could you
all
imagine that though? Like, you keep telling someone you have a problem. You are addicted to crack. I'm not addicted, and then one time, I'm actually okay with that though.
I am addicted to crack.
I'm all right
And
with
I'm
this.
okay.
I'm okay with that. That is perfectly
This is a
fine.
very comforting knowledge that I've stumbled
accepted it, but instead of going through the other steps of the healing process, I'm just gonna stick here. I like this spot I'm in.
Okay, so we all have glasses. We've How long have you had glasses for?
Forever.
Forever.
Since I was in
Not
Teenager.
too long. Teenager.
6th grade.
Okay, so most of us probably at some
What
point.
grade?
I think we were first.
First grade.
Whoa, dang.
Yeah, long
You
time
guys
ago.
have terrible. Sorry. What about yours?
This is a
Grade?
great example.
Kindergarten.
Holy crap! Hey, what about yours?
Teenager.
He
What
was
does teenager mean?
Like
Oh, boy.
16. He was in high school already.
Oh, okay.
It's
And
because
it was 6th grade for me.
World of Warcraft
man.
I'm just
causes blindness when you play it in a dark room.
in a dark room
for hours
next
on
to the
end.
computer screen.
Face front.
So, so we've all experienced being made fun of for our glasses. Prime
Like
example,
right now.
just barely.
Yeah.
So, did any of you guys ever have someone take your glasses though?
As in steal
Like,
them
well, like
for a
like
time?
they're
Or
making
me
fun of
saying,
you,
"Hey."
and they'll like just pull them off while they're making fun of you, and go, "Oh, now we have your glasses and everything."
No, their hand
I-
would be swatted.
I
Right.
can't remember. I don't think it did, because if that ever did happen, I would have beat the crap out of them. Thinking,
I don't
Yeah,
think they did it in a
first
teasing
grade.
way.
well, maybe that's what I said in elementary
No,
school.
but
See,
like just
I just didn't like-
took them in general.
I didn't like people
while
touching
you
me
were
or getting
there.
close to touching my face.
Like,
So if anything,
I've
came
had
at
people
me,
take them to like
Where?
put them
Yeah.
on and be
I've
like,
done
"Whoa,
that
you
with
are
people.
blind."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had
Something
that
like
happen.
that. Well,
I
so
did that to my sister.
I was
before
just
got
curious
glasses.
about it because
That's why I had to get glasses.
I ruined it at that moment.
I was just curious because I read something really funny on the internet.
He just
the other-
recently had his glasses stolen.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Because I
Alan was just a
recently
subject.
read something on the internet. It was something about this kid who had glasses, and it was like, we'll say Fred. Fred was always made fun of because he wore glasses. And one day, the kids making fun of Fred took Fred's glasses, and so Fred started making fun of them for them having glasses. They didn't like Fred. And I just thought that was hilarious because I never would have thought of that when I was a kid if like they took my glasses to start making fun of them and going, "Ha ha, you have glasses now."
Well, it's
No, I
because
don't.
that's
Take him back.
Because you're like validating the fodder they use against
That
you.
is very true.
Ooh, good word.
It's like doing it's like accepting when the bullies are bullying you and you just accept it and roll with it. If you do,
I am dumb.
if you do it long enough, they just kind of stop because you're boring now. They do it to get the rise out of you, or they're like Aaron and just keep doing it. I'm
Jeez,
just kidding.
Daniel.
Well, it's because the rise keeps coming. That's
Yeah.
why it works.
They were
You're still
times.
getting a
They
rise.
were
He's
times.
still getting
Yeah,
a rise
it
out
is
of
still
you.
paying him. He is
You
still
bring it
reaping
up,
the
like,
benefits.
all the
I
time.
did so much that I like have an infinite surplus
Yeah.
that I can just coast off for the rest of my life.
You're just getting paid on this interest every time.
Bro, I was working Friday and I got a text Thursday. Well, so I got a text Thursday and it was just like, "Hey, okay." So it was from a girl I was seeing. So we don't
Yeah.
say it loud. Okay, you guys understand.
We all
Anyway,
know.
so it was from a girl saying, she's like, "Hey, can we talk? When do you have some free time to talk?" And so I was like, "Oh, okay.
Oh,
I don't know.
crap.
Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, how about this day?
How about never?
How does like yeah? How does Saturday
How about
like
we don't do this?
1:30 sound or whatever?" And so I knew what was gonna happen like beforehand, and so I worked
Right.
Friday and I went to bed at like 6:00 in the morning, and I knew I had to like wake up in like 5 hours, and so I was just like, when I finally did wake up, I was just like, this kind of sucks that I have to wake up, get dressed, like look nice, drive out to some place so
When
that
you know
some
what's
girl
good-
can break up with me,
Yeah.
and like why would you do that to yourself? Why would you want to why would you oh gosh, I know I gotta do it though. And so
You
I
could,
ended up
I
Plan
would.
on meeting her later in the day.
Now, I
Or
would
if
just.
she texted you like, "Hey, we need to meet soon," you could have just like texted back if you really wanted to avoid it. Be like, "How about we not?"
I would.
That's what I said,
I
yeah.
don't care about
It's my answer.
avoiding it. It was
Yeah,
just
it
like
was- he didn't
it was
wanna-
soon,
yeah, he
and so
didn't
I don't
wanna
wanna,
have to get
drag it out and
yeah. I would have just.
But I was just like, it's such a waste of a Saturday that I'm gonna have to go deal with an awkward breakup.
See, that's your problem. The second she texted you and said, we need to talk.
You can do it over the phone.
Yeah,
I don't care.
and you knew what was going
You can
on.
do this right now.
You should have just called her and been like, I know what you're going to say, and fine.
Well,
whatever.
what if it was like... What
Like,
if it was...
just call her up real fast. Of course, we could be friends. I know it's not me, it's you. So
No, I know it's not you, it's me. Whatever.
That's hilarious.
But
It's not me, it's you. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell her that.
No, that's what they
But
say.
that's what they
That
say
is-
to me. It
They say it's
sounds like-
not you, it's
I
me.
was
The
like,
girl says
you
that,
could-
so you agree. I know it's you, not me.
You say, I don't blame you for being you, but...
find your
whatever.
happiness. Go ahead.
You could end it the way that my girl ended it. Just, hey, let's make this official. Let's be Facebook friends. Oh, because that's officially how you make friends.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyways,
You gotta date them and then break up with them.
and then go on Facebook.
friends.
So please
So
tell
you
me
can
that
stalk them.
we've been expecting a terrible end.
So
and-
what?
and
Did
she
you
proposed.
get up? Did you get up?
Yeah,
Did
no, I
you
got up and I went and like she did break up.
Oh.
So it was exactly what we thought, and I thought.
I'm
Did,
sorry.
did you
No,
at
it's
least
okay.
do it quickly so you could go back to your
Yeah,
dad
it was
and-
pretty quickly because we just met. We talked for a little bit, and then just
Was it
That was it.
was it nice?
yeah, well that's the thing. We were like mature about it, and she was mature enough to like do it in person, and so it was,
You,
as far as breakups go, it was a good breakup.
it can
I mean, you guys.
But
I mean, I
I
think
love
As
that's.
feelings that were hurt
I
go.
love my title for this. It was called Wake Up Breakup.
That's good. That's gold.
I know. That's
Short
like a
video
song.
idea.
Like I can see that
Yeah,
as a
wake up,
country
breakup.
song.
We can do that as a short video, just like someone's struggling to wake up because they know like that their day is just going to be a horrible day, and then it turns out to be like a great day or something.
So the
So
opposite
every
of what
day of
happened.
life.
I can't tell you how sorry I am for you to have had that, came home 1:20 in the morning that next, and have me home saying, yeah, this girl that I was talking to, these are the things we said,
well,
listen
it doesn't
to me.
even. Well, it
I
doesn't
feel
bother
bad.
me though. Like
Isn't
it's okay.
Isn't it funny how while you were kind of dating this girl,
Yeah.
you know, going on dates, Levi's prospects for women were virtually zero, and the second she
Table
breaks up
split.
with you, all of a sudden Levi's like, oh, there's a girl, oh my gosh.
I have a girl.
It wasn't like that.
Yo,
A little bit more giddy.
do you remember?
Don't
you
embarrass
texting
me any
about
further.
it? I can read them. I have the
Don't.
text right here.
See, that's another thing, Levi. I did not know about this until you came home from church today.
'cause I
did
told
not
him-
see you or hear you anything.
Because I told him that this was going to just be a friendship.
He doesn't want to rush things with this one because rushing things is what screws him up in this.
I think it's
Oh,
what
so
screws
now
up.
you're listening to my advice.
Did you ever tell me to do that?
Always.
He was
I'm
listening to
kidding.
my advice, Alex.
Okay, gosh, let's do next.
Next.
So there's a girl.
No. I got a
I
question
didn't
for
okay.
everyone.
Okay.
Crap.
Yeah,
Do you understand jellyfish?
In what way?
as in how they can exist.
Just
and be
like
alive
jellyfish,
because they don't
like-
have a brain.
Have you ever? Yeah, like things like that. Like they're, if you think about it, jellyfish are probably the like most non-understood creatures
You can
because
kind of be moving through them, but the second that they get
Misunderstood,
startled,
not
that's when they've pierced you
non-understood.
no,
completely.
because
for no
misunderstood
reason.
doesn't construe what I'm trying to say. Because
Doesn't.
misunderstood makes it sound like
Then mysterious is a
Mysterious is a
good
good
word.
word.
Non-understood is not a word.
However,
it's a word. If I would think
it is a funner word to use.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, I only asked because there's this funny picture again on the internet. It's where I spend most of my time. That
I know.
was
Sorry, keep going.
that was all like. Some things are hard to
I'm going to
understand.
interrupt Alan again as
I'm
well.
sorry.
Ah!
Sorry, I had to do it, Levi, because he totally did it.
Okay, so
It wasn't purposeful.
thank you, Kylie and Aaron. You guys are very nice to me. So there's this picture on the internet, and it started with, some things are just hard to understand, like jellyfish. Do you understand jellyfish? And then it had a guy under there that was like,
No.
no. And so I thought that was really funny. And then as I thought about it, I'm like, I've really don't understand jellyfish. Like,
At all.
at all. Like, I know
Love them.
a little bit about them.
Are
Like,
jelly
they can
or are
sting
they
you,
fish?
and that they move in giant groups, but that's about it.
And you can jump on the tops because they won't sting you.
Boing, boing, boing,
Yes,
boing.
like,
I know how to jellyfish.
yeah.
I know how to piss people off when I go, high five.
High five,
Yeah.
jellyfish. Come here, give me a hug. Giant jellyfish.
Like, well, that's the thing too. Like,
Actions.
I
They're a
think,
thing.
other than like being conscious and intelligent, we got like screwed in the cool evolutionary like
Yeah, we don't have cool stuff.
powers.
Yeah, we're
Except
just
thought.
normal.
Except, I said except for that.
Except for that.
Well,
You make it sound like
Opposable
it's so
thumbs.
lame.
I know it can't.
Opposable
Yeah. Why couldn't we get like some cool stuff?
Why
Like
can't I
couldn't
get like heat vision and
or just
No one has
stinging
heat.
grass?
well like I mean like you can like you can see people's thermal.
yeah,
Signature.
like why do we see the world the way we see it? Why didn't we
Because
get
of
like
the way that our
That's
eyes
the
work.
thing too.
vision?
I heard
Spectrum?
because it's like started in the sea like
Mhm.
like sea creatures have like such advanced eyes, and because like we had to like we had to reinvent the eyes when like it evolved onto like creatures on land, like that our eyes are like so far behind what
Fish.
like fish or animals in the ocean, amphibians in the ocean can.
Yeah, they've done a good job evolving, but we do a good job at being their predator.
and killing them
And
all
eating
the
them.
time.
So apparently they didn't do a very good job. We
Yeah,
did.
It turns out thought was the best thing because sure we may not have heat vision,
but we
Bill,
have
I
something
do.
that
but we
can.
have something that
See.
can give us heat vision.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have guns and lasers and poison.
You can still
and-
fly.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can still
animals might
fly
be cooler
and
than me, but I can
swim.
kill them.
I like that we went like heat vision, guns, lasers. I'm sitting here like fire, spears, like the next
The
step up
primitive.
from getting onto land.
Screws, levers,
Pulleys,
pulleys.
wheels.
I was thinking
Rams,
chronologically with
rulers.
Aaron's thought.
Did you say
Make-
wedge?
Making fire.
No, wedge.
Wedge.
We did now.
Making firewood is hard. Like you see people, no, you see,
see
people,
people,
like
like-
in the movies, like
Because they're doing
so
it wrong.
easy.
Aren't you
I'm
a
sure
Boy
they don't
Scout?
make that sound.
I've
They
never
tried.
actually made.
I
I don't think I've ever actually made a firewood stick.
You're supposed to do it with like a bow, and so then
And
you
string.
hold the
I know, but-
yeah,
So
and you
that-
move
that
it like this.
moves
You
it
think
faster
the
than your hands can.
first person made that? Though?
It's possible
Like
to.
that? Yeah.
I think the first
Eventually
people
you're
used
getting the
doing
flints.
rocks,
But the
like,
flint
there
is
was
what makes
people
it
who were-
easiest to me.
There are still people who could do it that way, or like could do like the shaving,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
like Castaway.
Oh yeah, you watched that recently.
Yeah.
Castaway is such a
Fire's
Dude,
obviously
Castaway
not
is
that
such a
difficult.
good
I mean, a
movie.
caveman could do it.
Yeah.
Dude.
I love those commercials.
But I actually was wondering, like with Castaway, like how, like let's say same scenario happened, how long would you go before you like opened up the packages, like
Oh, I'd open
Before
up
you-
right away.
so like
Yeah,
the first
like-
day you're there, you would
Because
just
Like,
like.
that
screw it.
Well,
there's
what
no
if-
guarantee of anything.
What if you like worked for the company? Like I think that's the reason
Well,
why it
Eric,
took
yeah,
you
'cause
so long.
you-
Yeah, you have to tell us this. You work for a parcel company. I don't,
I
so
think
I
it's
don't
I'm
have that.
sure.
I think it's
moral
about
obligation.
loyalty. Because I mean, like, I worked for USPS, but fuck them. So I totally would have opened it.
Well, and here's the thing. I would do my best to
Do your
make
duty.
note of what was in the packages and who they were going for, and maybe replace them if I could. But I would open
Make
them.
note with what?
Whatever
You're
I had.
stranded.
I said I would try to make note, Levi.
See, here's
Rented
my thought.
seaweed.
Here's my thought.
Rocks on a wall.
There we go.
I doubt anyone would care that I use their package in order to survive on an island when a
you
plane.
don't realize what lawsuits are.
I
do
know,
you?
Alan.
No one
Well,
cares.
You know what?
Could
As
you
long
be
as
What
they
connected
judge-
with
Just
them?
like
For
replace
one,
I
it was
don't
off
know.
on some
I
island
think
that has
that
no
it depends on-
jurisdiction.
Yeah,
so
it
they
depends
can't.
on how long you were gone and the statute of limitations on that. I mean,
Technically, at that point, if a package falls out of the country area, it's free game anyways.
Yeah,
It's
technically
only in the
not
country
illegal,
that
yeah.
it's illegal for you to open
They
someone else's
can't
mail.
technically they show up and you'd be like,
Armed with that knowledge within the first 5 minutes. That's my response.
you say, oh, these packages opened up because animals were picking at them.
But I hate them all.
Or you
because
get
I've been here for a
everything
long
out.
time.
You get everything out. You stash it in your secret place. You get rid of the
Well,
boxes,
I'm
and you're
not
like,
saying
I didn't find
I'm
any
not saying they
boxes."
come like find you there with them, but would you just use them like
I
Yes.
while
would.
you're there?
Yes.
How long was it until he opened it in the movie?
I don't know.
He didn't.
He never did.
Well,
He never did.
For
He
he opened some.
returned it.
There was
Yeah,
just one.
there was just that
there was
one
the one.
package.
Yeah.
I would.
What one
I would have
package?
opened.
It had
It-
like wings on it, and
But
I think
It
you
was
just
They
like
never
it was
opened
like
it.
priority special delivery with insurance, kind of one of those
With
deals.
insurance. I'm sure they had already delivered on that insurance before he was found.
But it was like a special status.
I don't know. Like for
box.
me, like if I want to keep my job, so I would not open the packages.
But you know,
Understandable.
No,
I think it also would depend on, like, I would probably maybe scout the island first, see what kind of resources I did have
See if
initially.
anyone's watching.
Where are the cameras?
Where's Big Brother?
But and if I
Nothing
found
but
enough
Filipinos.
resources that I could use without having to open the packages, I probably would maybe not.
I don't know. Like I would because like what could be in those
Yeah.
packages? It could be like something
What you
so
need.
Like a
helpful,
satellite
what you need.
phone, you know.
Yeah. What if you just happen to have a satellite phone, or what if it had like tactical gear to help you like find stuff at the island,
Yeah,
or tactical
Puts
boots.
on his camo on this deserted island. Yes.
Hey, what if they're
thermal imaging
what if they're
Superpowers.
animals? You know,
lasers that you put on your shoulder.
this is
This
incredible.
is, this is incredible things that could be in a box, Daniel.
Well,
I thought jungle thermal imaging. The next place I went was lasers on your shoulder.
So the most disappointing thing to find in the box would be like satellite phone, thermal goggles, and all this just like high tech spy stuff. And
No
you
batteries.
turn it all on,
Oh.
like you turn it all on. There's no batteries, or
They
they're
got
like
water
children's
damage.
choice.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just see it and you're like, I'm saved, and then you pick it up and you're like, this is shit.
This isn't a satellite
No.
phone. There's candy inside of it.
I think it would be worse is if it would have worked, but it got water damage from the crash.
Oh.
No, it works. You get a hold of someone, they don't speak your language.
Oh.
You're not
yeah,
gonna call
mayday,
someone you
mayday.
know.
Because that's right with satellite phones. There's not like just like
No, it's not
contacts.
a
You
number.
just gotta like
You just got to try to get a hold of someone.
yeah.
There's satellite
Well,
phones
there's
you can dial
numbers, but like
Oh.
you don't know any numbers as a
Well,
satellite.
if you know
you
that-
can't just type in like
You
Can't
know your
you-
country
that
code.
thing. But you don't know.
911.
How do you?
Yeah. 1-801-911. That's the Utah
Can you
911.
call like actual phones with satellite phones, or
I think
were they
so.
just other satellite phones?
No, you
I
can call
actually
them.
have no idea how satellite
It
phones
depends.
work.
I'm sure there are
It's because
satellite
cell
phones that
came out
call
at
like
that point.
that call as if they were satellite phones, or call regular phone. And I needed.
Yeah.
Do you, do
We'd
you,
just die. We're uncultured.
yeah. Do you guys? Any of you read XKCD?
I
I
do
do.
not.
I do.
You do? Do you? It's
I don't
a
even know what that
webcomic. It's a
No.
webcomic.
Is it the guy that draws stick
Stick figures.
ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
His are really hilarious. There's one.
He does one every day, right?
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
Yeah, every other day, and they're really smart webcomics. Like
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
jokes
that's
are
intelligent.
very intelligent. That's one thing I love. Like I stumbled across this one that really spoke to me because I've had this problem many times, and I'm sure everyone else has probably had
wasn't
this
audio
problem
file.
at least once. You interrupted again. But it was one about like when you're like typing a question into Google and you find like a Yahoo Answers thing or some sort of forum where someone else had asked the question and you're like, oh yes, and you click on it and the question is there but there's no answers and it was from like 5 years ago and you're like,
They were never answered.
They were never answered. What did you do? What did you experience? What happened?
Yeah.
And for that split moment, you feel connected to that one person because you're like, I'm having the same problem and I don't know what to do either. What did you do?
And I just find him on another forum. Oh, that's where you went.
Did you ever figure it out?
You realize that Yahoo Answers was done.
Well, I don't mean Yahoo Answers is an example,
Yeah,
but like I found
Like you go to a forum.
I've
like,
checked certain Apple things when I have a
say your
question.
PlayStation problem. Okay.
Yeah.
You never
Well,
figured.
there wasn't anyone. Yeah.
There wasn't anyone else. Let's say 4 years from now, right towards the end of the PlayStation 4's life, someone else finds your comment and they're going through the same exact thing, but they don't see any answers or anything like that.
I was thorough though with my post. I gave what the next step would be
Well, I
for
know.
me to do anyway, so
I
he
know,
would have
but-
an idea.
But he would be like, so what ended up happening? Did
Why
he
did-
fix it?
You know,
Am I
I
going to be able
haven't
to
checked
fix it?
that post. I bet
Well,
there's a
sure,
response.
There's probably a lot more views now.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I love those kind of jokes.
Anyone that this is their first podcast, they're like,
They're like,
the fuck is this?
so funny.
Why?
Right. So
Well,
this,
we'll just tell them, listen to our previous podcast. You'll
One of them.
understand.
We don't know
Can't
which
remember
one. I can't
which
remember.
so I got a question. This is very thought provoking. Levi kind of already knows. But can something that's boundless have boundaries?
No. Wouldn't the fact that it's termed boundless mean it couldn't have boundaries?
To be able to say something is boundless presupposes that boundaries exist. Therefore, it supersedes those existing boundaries.
Exactly.
Boom!
So it can't.
I
be
did something
bounded.
intellectual and said it out loud.
So
Said it out loud.
So
there's-
boundaries
so
exist.
like let's say infinity, it can't have a
Oh,
boundary.
stop.
No, I'm just saying. Like it does have a boundary.
No, it
No,
can't.
it doesn't.
So nothing that's infinite has a boundary.
Let's say yeah.
It's a trap.
It doesn't
It's
have
a
a
trap.
boundary.
It's a
You're
trap.
gonna die.
No, Let's
I've come to
think
grips with
there
this.
is a
The last-
boundary,
yeah.
but
Okay.
infinity
Supersedes it.
is outside of the boundary because it's boundless.
How does it get outside the boundary?
Found the trap.
I don't
It
know.
always
This
existed
is-
outside of the boundary.
Yeah, wouldn't
Well,
wouldn't that
like-
be the point?
well,
As you're
wouldn't-
approaching
because
it.
like no,
As-
Oh my God, no,
let's say,
Levi.
as
No.
you're approaching the boundary, it would just go past the boundary because it's boundless. It can't be bounded.
yeah, but you're just saying like I'm saying can between this point and this point could infinity exist between it?
Yes.
Wait,
So it is bound.
But that's
No,
between boundaries.
It
infinity could
part
exist.
of infinity
yeah, part
could
of it.
exist.
But
So,
not all of
infinity
it.
How many
itself
numbers
could.
can exist between 1 and 2?
It depends on what the boundary is.
1
One
and
and
2?
two.
Oh.
An infinite.
An
amount.
infinite number of.
Are those not boundaries?
I told you you
No,
fell
Dan,
for the trap.
they aren't boundaries.
No,
What
damn
are
it.
They are numbers.
But haven't I?
So, Aaron, you asked what was in between it.
How many numbers can exist? Between
You asked how many numbers, but you didn't ask could infinity fit between 1 and 2. That's
Well-
two different things.
Well, no.
No,
but
he's saying,
how
many
can
numbers?
something boundless exist in boundaries?
Yeah,
And the answer is yes.
Because it's a bound.
but
the amount
but
of
we're not
numbers is
saying
boundless.
we're not saying infinity.
what makes
But
Oh,
it's-
hey,
It's an
oh,
infinite amount of numbers.
Yeah, but we're not saying it is infinity. Infinity is boundless. An infinite amount of numbers can be in between boundaries.
Because they're bound
Because
by
they're
the
bound
fact that
by
they're
the fact that
numbers.
they're numbers. Just because there's an infinite number of them doesn't mean they can't be bound.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hmm?
So you're saying that infinity is not just something that goes on forever.
I'm saying it is something that goes on forever.
Well, then in that case,
But
it meets that classification
what classification?
that it goes on forever. The numbers between 1 and 2.
Bound.
Yeah, but they're
No.
still numbers.
I know, but they're.
Numbers.
But it's
No.
They're-
infinity.
I'm not saying
it's
I'm
numbers,
not-
but it's also
Aaron,
like
I'm not saying
infinite.
between 1 and 2 is I'm not saying infinity is between them 1 and 2. Listen to what I'm saying very carefully. I'm saying there's infinite amount of numbers between 1 and 2.
But it is not infinity.
But it's
Anytime
No,
we
I'm
have
not
a
saying
question like this, we're going to set a timer. So that way, once that timer is done, we stop.
Infinity, I'm not just saying like infinity is a broad thing. Many things can be infinite.
Yes.
Like,
Many things, but something being infinite doesn't make it infinity.
But okay, but still, I'd rest that something that's boundless can still have boundaries.
But that doesn't work.
Yeah, well,
I'm
it
just not
does
gonna-
work.
By
No,
definition
I get
of
in
being
trouble.
By
boundless,
definition of being
that means it
boundless,
has
it
no
means it has no
boundaries.
Well,
boundaries.
well, it doesn't.
I wish
Well,
that
it
people could
does.
see this, because all of a sudden there's leaning towards Aaron.
Well, that's the
he's the
thing.
one precipitating
I know.
the question.
They have
Aaron,
they have
this
boundaries,
is one of those
but they're going to be
questions that you
boundless.
could argue
It'll
about.
never
Well,
get
but
to 1. It'll
what's-
never get to 2. So,
Then it is bound.
so it's
Then
boundless.
it's not boundless. If it has boundaries, then
It'll
what if
never
it
get
hits
there.
those boundaries?
It'll
It doesn't
never.
matter
It
if it never
won't.
reaches there.
It won't though. It can't.
Then it
Statistics.
doesn't have those.
Then it
How
doesn't
can
have
it? How can
Aaron,
it
if
have
it
boundaries
can't
if it
get-
can't reach it?
Yeah, if it can't
Because
reach
that's-
1, if it can't
Then
reach 2,
that's the limit.
but is that a boundary or a limit? What's the difference?
Well, I'm saying that limits are boundaries.
Okay, but
But
what
are
is
they?
Are they?
I would
you
say
said
so.
they,
Aren't they
you
the
said
same?
it can't reach 2. Did you? You
Are
just
boundaries
will
and
never
limits
reach
not
to.
the same
so then
thing?
would it not? How would that be a boundary?
I would argue.
Look
not.
at North Korea. They're limited
Yeah.
to North Korea,
Yeah.
and it's the boundary of the country. They're the same thing.
But I think it's
But
different.
limits
words.
are set, whereas
Words.
boundaries are existent. Limits are set.
Boundaries
Well,
are
everything
set.
is
You can
Not
cross
always.
the boundary of Utah. It stays there.
Okay, but Aaron, once again, infinity isn't between.
No,
1
I'm not
and
saying
2.
infinity, but I'm
Okay,
just
and
saying can
I'm
boundless
going to give you
things
guys
10 seconds.
boundaries.
10 seconds to
I'm
finish
I'm
this.
saying no.
And-
10.
Yeah.
What
hug
about
and
your
make up.
brain?
9,
Even though it's
8,
confined
7,
to this area,
6,
But
it can
is
still
it-
supersede.
But
Four,
is it your brain that's
2,
bound or
1.
your imagine? Is
And
it
we're
your
done.
brain
That's
that's
actually-
boundless?
Imagination.
That
Your
actually
imagination that's
goes
boundless.
perfectly to what you're sorry. But that is a perfect simile for that exact question. That your brain is technically a thing, but what
What's
you can do
inside
with it.
But it's
is-
what you can do with it, not your brain itself. Your brain.
Your brain
can't-
is bound.
So you
but
have
your
1 and 2.
imagination.
That's what you have, but what you can do in between that is infinite.
And so, but would you say your imagination is bounded then?
Yes.
It is bound by his head. He cannot share with my imagination without me giving it to him.
But that's
Yeah, he
not.
can.
That's not. Yeah, he can. He can share his imagination with you.
No,
There
are
he
many
can't.
ways.
He can't have mine
You
without
can
me.
share-
Without me sharing it, he doesn't have access to
Okay,
it without my
but
getting
that doesn't mean your imagination is bound in it by any means.
it. It means his is bound to his alone unless it is shared.
No, his can be boundless.
Talk more about my brain.
Oh, this is so sexy.
Just because he
What
doesn't
else
have
can I
some
do with
sort
my
of
brain?
access to him doesn't mean your imagination has a boundary.
I think that this is something that you can argue both ways, but the problem is we need to set the definitions before we can truly argue it. I think
Can
that's
you
what
argue
we're arguing
anything
more.
in English then?
What is arguing?
No.
I-
Just kidding.
I
You
would
can't
say you
argue,
can't argue
you can't
anything
argue
in
anything
English.
until you've set definitions.
But
That's why you
even
can't.
if you set definitions, you're going to have to set definitions for the words in the definition.
Yeah,
Gosh.
that's why it's hard.
Well, that's what I'm going to say is that
Because our
Everything's so
vocabulary has boundaries,
ambiguous.
but it's bound.
But we've
That-
already talked about the whole ambiguity thing with the last argument like this.
well, I'm just saying.
What about the questions game? That brought up a lot of ambiguity questions. The thing is that you can.
Well, I'm
You can
not
argue
even saying
anything.
things like questions are ambiguous.
No,
I'm
I
saying
know.
words themselves.
But
can be
that was a
ambiguous.
great example of what I was saying. So think about. Okay, this is a great way to show it. Think about psychological experiments. So a lot of people can. Levi, have face. No.
Now you're interrupting
You
him
can
with
put your
your
faces.
Facial expression.
So a lot of people, when psychology first came about, were really stupid about things because, like, say you want to measure how
You weren't
someone
in on it.
measure people's happiness. How do you measure happiness?
Quantifiably.
Okay, see, like, but that's a great example right there. There's two different ways of how you can measure happiness. So it came down to what they were saying happiness was, and then that became the measure. So happiness could have been how often you smile each day. So there's a measure of what happiness is,
But there's
and so
people that are more stoic than others, and so
and
they
that's the
don't
problem.
invoke
That's the
happiness.
You have to find out what's the best way to measure it.
What's
And it's
the
the same
common-
with these. Like you have to find out what's the best way to define it. And once you've found that way to define it, that's when you can argue it. Until then, you're just arguing definitions. Basically, you're arguing semantics.
Well, I would say something that's infinite is boundless.
And
Okay,
and
that's
you're good.
so
to
that's
you're
your
having
definition.
Yeah.
and I respect your opinion,
I
Aaron.
told you what college class to take for this.
Philosophy.
No,
Oh,
there's,
God, no.
There's a comedian that said that he took a certain class in college and he started saying it was like the philosophy of math. Actually, it was probably, and he's like, we discussed all different kinds of things. This, if there are different levels of infinity, and I paused it at them. I was like, oh, Aaron,
Come here.
there are idiots like you. Okay, not that you're an idiot. I'm sorry, but they're crazy people like you is what I meant to say.
So
There's people who know.
So going along with things that are boundless, Kylie brought up a very interesting immortal question. But since you're here, I'm gonna let you ask it because
See?
you're here.
You like how he
You live
throws around-
forever, but
know,
you're
right?
bounded by life and death.
Shut up.
Yes.
What?
Boom!
Just
Ah!
stop.
If you're immortal, you don't have death.
But don't you?
Okay, so the question before
If we start
Okay,
going
okay.
religious, I can
Aaron
explain.
kicks this up again, you're given immortality, and like illness doesn't phase you, injury doesn't phase you at all. You're kind of like Wolverine.
You don't grow old.
You don't grow old. You don't.
You can
get
be decapitated.
Injured. You can be decapitated, and you'll just still live.
But
so,
you won't have a head.
You'll have a different view.
You have a body.
Well,
You won't have
you
a body.
You
you
won't
can
have a body.
just have a head.
you can reattach your head to your body, but they can live separately.
that's
We're not
it?
getting into it.
No, I'm just saying
Wait,
that's it. Like, so someone could like cut off your head, bury you in China, and like leave your body in America.
Well, what if someone debrains you?
Anyway,
Okay.
that's
I want to
the
say we
point.
regenerate. Can I say we regenerate?
Fine, regenerate. Your
Yes.
other body dies, the rest of your
Yes.
body regenerates.
Okay.
That's a smart way.
Besides the
They
point,
just teleport together.
You
So
you
you're-
cannot die.
you cannot die, but you are given a kill switch. Whether
To
it's
die.
whether it's a physical switch
You
or
can't die
something
unless
said
you
or just a
choose to.
thought that you choose, you are now ready to die. At like what point do you give up immortality? Do you just at the very beginning say, nope, I don't want the kill switch, I'm gonna see Armageddon? Or do you keep a hold of it to yourself and say like, okay, I'll give it like 600 years, and when I'm lonely, then I'll go away?
And-
How
How
sensitive is the
long?
die trigger? Could you just think I could die from this?
It's not sensitive. It
let's
has to
say
be very
let's say the
conscious thought.
death trigger is you have to very consciously know that you are done.
And,
you
like,
are going. You want to
In
die.
your brain, you see like this command prompt pop up, and it's
That
like,
says,
"Are you sure you want to
Yeah.
die?"
And you have to
Okay,
click
cancel.
yes.
When
Yeah.
it happens, all of a sudden your world transforms and there's an elevator in front of you.
There's a
Um,
question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would,
There's
I would
more.
keep the kill suite.
Well, there's
switch.
more. There's more.
we liked what we had. We were given enough. And okay.
So it's just how long are you living? Like
Yeah.
you
How
take
long
the
would
kill
I decide
switch.
to?
How long do you live before you start to consider it?
Yeah,
Before you
what
start
do
to
do?
consider you're lonely, and what do you do with your life? Like all of your loved ones pass away. You make relationships, but they die as well. You're the sole immortal.
I'd probably go through one lifetime, honestly. If I was able to in this, I would probably rate it by the point that I actually get married and when my wife is about to die, or when she does, then I'll follow.
So just one lifetime,
Mhm.
and you're just living your normal life as is.
If she ended up being my wife, that's how it would be.
Whoever gave you immortality probably thinks it's a waste at this point.
Unless it was God, in which case he's happy.
I would live until the point that I could help no one else.
No return.
I would.
Because I would just like I would get to a point where everyone that I love probably has passed away, and so then I would just start. Do I have to eat?
No.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Or drink.
Cold doesn't kill me.
Cold
Yes.
is
Perfect.
really-
You do have to drink.
But if you get frozen in ice, you will have pretty much a tough time getting out.
I
You
know,
will
but
be
like
frozen
not
in
like
ice.
so like cold temperatures basically like I can't
You
get
won't die of hypothermia.
hypothermia or anything. Okay, so yeah, I would just start trekking across everywhere, trying to help people as best I can. Be like a holy man, just
Like-
Aw,
going.
he's helping people. We were spying on other countries.
Hey,
Wow.
Yeah, we were talking
that's the kind
We're
of help
talking
they
about being
need.
spies. Yeah.
If that's the
I
kind of
would
help
be a
they
spy
need.
for a while,
But that would presuppose that you're telling someone about this, and they would more than likely lock you up and test.
Well,
For how long though?
You're not. I wouldn't tell the government that I could do that. I would just sign up to be a spy, and then when I died in the field, I would go on to my next.
Quote unquote died.
Could you imagine?
You would just
Say
join that country's spy agency.
Everyone is dead. That bomb destroyed everyone. That nuke just no one's alive in it. Daniel, what you?
You were.
You can't-
You were there.
I saw you. It was your heads-up display that
That's
took
it.
in the entire nuke.
Yeah.
It was
about
my
that.
display. Yeah.
Interns.
They've got like the
Yeah.
radioactivity monitor, like. Like, you're covered in uranium and you're giving me cancer. Why are you not dead?
They're dying right there.
That's true. What if you did get exposed to radiation?
Yeah, you'd just be.
Go and live in
No.
Chernobyl.
Your body.
Oh.
No, your body metabolizes it so quickly that you'd be fine with radiation.
I'd totally live in Chernobyl for a little
Well, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
if you're immortal, then yeah.
Yeah.
But would you eventually push off all the radiation, or would you, from that moment forward, be irradiated in a sense that anyone around you is picking up radiation
I don't know.
badly?
Radioactive.
I don't know, but like,
Interesting.
I think my end game would be like, if everyone was like gone or something, like I would strap myself to like a rock and like blow up the world, and then I would just
Whoa.
like fly through space forever or something. Like, we'll just like look, like you would just like.
Why even a rock? You could just do yourself and just blast yourself off into space.
Or then he could name
But
the
then
rock.
I'm gonna have a rock. I'm gonna be strapped to a rock. You think when the historians
Here,
discovered
okay, wait a
me,
minute. If you
strapped
blew up
to
the
a
Earth,
rock-
how is the rock surviving?
because the Earth is a rock.
He's
grabbing some sort of earth
he's
shrapnel.
packing himself to the earth, so that when it blows up, he's taking whatever piece he's on with him.
Yeah.
Huh,
And when
that's
the-
a big strap.
When historians find me, they're gonna be like,
Historians
this guy was like strapped to an
Historians, because there's
Earth.
no people left.
on the other planets.
Yeah, like aliens. of
Yeah, but
course.
you gotta ask yourself, at the speed you're going, which is incredibly slow,
For-
how long is it gonna take before you reach
Space.
any other planet?
What if it was that moment that aliens happened to be around and like, the hell?
And he just
Picked him
hits
up.
the windshield.
I'm like trying to stay on.
That
And
would
the
be kind
rock's
of funny.
pulling
because
you
it's
off.
Like,
You're like,
it's like
"Damn
you
it,
slide
I made
across
the
the
wrong
entire way,
choice."
and they're like, "What was that?" And then, hand, and they come out to get you. And like, no, grab the rock! Get the rock! Get the rock! Give me the rock!
Wilson.
I will find you, Wilson.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
This is
I-
so sad.
I would take it and
Planet
I would
Castaway.
slowly start taking over the world in the shadows.
Of course you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you
Hydra?
be a spy.
Like you're enacting
Take over
Hydra?
the
Pretty
world.
much, yeah.
You rule the world for a while. Make a spaceship, and then you're
Blow
like,
up the world.
no, you make a
Come on.
spaceship that can like go super fast, and then you're like, yeah, we're all going to like get on the spaceship and go somewhere, but then you're just like, fuck you guys, and
Oh
just
my-
like take off with it.
Wow.
I just joking. No, you should probably take people with you, because then it wouldn't be as fun.
Probably. Maybe.
No.
Just a bunch of, girls. Just
Yeah,
have fun
it's
with.
just you and then,
Like the whole Playboy Mansion.
you and your like one guy friend and then like a ton of like girls.
But then while you're in space, what if there's two different path trajectories you could go? But one path,
Oh,
you have a 70%
Oh,
chance.
Oh, man.
You have found Eden.
Like,
I'm sorry.
I think if I could live long enough or get to one, I would want to like go into a black hole or something. See what happens.
Because you wouldn't
a
die.
Black
So
hole,
what would
yeah.
happen?
You just get.
Can you feel pain?
Yes.
What would happen is...
Or like
have
go
you-
into a quasar.
Has everyone seen Interstellar?
No.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gosh.
I still need to.
We have.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I
Alan's
do.
giving you this look. It's so
Yeah,
not okay.
I'm sorry. But
You should apologize.
You know, like- so you know how you can like travel through time, like, right? Faster? Like
Oh.
so like
You could spend
They
1
pr-
minute somewhere.
yeah. Well,
but a
so
year
even
is
like
past if you're.
yeah, even like the satellites in Earth orbits, they experience time differently than us. Like
Yeah.
they go like 1 second behind, 1 second forward.
Like, they technically have
Yeah, they
lived longer.
yeah they
than-
technically gain 1 second every day they go around, and so every day they reset 1 second back on like all the satellites or whatever, and so, and like they say if you like were to just like sit next to a black hole for like 5 years, you would experience like everyone on Earth would have experienced 25 years, and you would have only
A
experienced
lot
5
longer,
years.
actually.
No, just 5 years.
It depends on how
Depends on how
close you
close you
are.
Yeah, or how massive the black
Yeah.
hole.
Or
It's
gravity.
basically, yeah, how...
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing of, that is an understood theory, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time is relative.
But like, it would be so insane if we had something to do that with, like close by, that we could just like send people up in like
Check it out.
rockets or something, and they could just like
Time capsules.
yeah, they
human,
could just we could send
human
things
time
up there.
capsules. They come back to Earth
That would be
500
horrible.
years
This
later.
is aged 5 years since it's been in. But
Like-
this is the 5th generation of waiting for it.
Yeah,
This is weird.
but like you send like a 20-year-old who signed up for the mission. He goes and spends 5 years next to a black hole. Comes back 500 years later.
Right, yeah.
Completely
And
different world.
he
They're not even expecting
He
it.
tells everybody about. he
And then
tells
the world is
everybody
filled
about-
with apes instead of man.
Reverse evolution happened. Oh, you mean like...
Planet
Planet
Apes.
Apes.
I got it.
It's kind of like reverse evolution. Apes evolved, humans devolved.
Uh,
Well, our feet are getting smaller and our heads are getting bigger. We might get furrier in the future with global warming. It's possible.
We're already
Climate
getting
change.
furry. Yeah, global climate change.
so at work, I have people that are like hard of hearing, but pretty much like deaf, and so whenever I talk to them, I have to like yell at them, and so I know like anyone who doesn't know they're deaf, or like, cause people come over to my belt who aren't usually on my belt, like anyone looking outside, looking in, how I talk to
You're
them,
just-
they're like, God, that guy's such a dick. He's just yelling at that
No!
person.
Get that box
I know.
over there!
And that's the thing too, is like when you yell, it's kind of hard not to sound angry.
Yeah,
which
'cause
is
you're yelling.
Because you're yelling, and that's what angry is usually. And so it's like, it's like how do you say that to like, you're like, God, stop yelling at him, he's deaf. Like, don't you know that? It's like,
Yes, I know
that's
that.
why
That's
I'm
why,
yelling.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you think I'm yelling? It's not for fun.
but and so I always feel bad, like people come over and I'm like just yelling at one of my employees. I'm just like, hey, can you go to, cause it's so loud.
Yeah.
You just gotta be like, hey, Greg, I need you to go to 148 or something. And so everyone's like, oh You must be mad at him.
Greg, I'm not mad, but I need you to go. You have to preface this.
Hey, Greg, I really need you to do this favor. It would help me so much. Could you go over to this?
By then, it's already too late. It's blown up.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Hey, your shirt looks good. Get over there right now.
What you need to do is start prefacing it with like, buddy,
What
or
is this preface?
Hey, cheap.
Preface.
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 It's preface.
Blanket.
Chameleon.
Chamomile.
Chamomile. So okay, so I definitely feel like I'm gonna be a great father, but there will be some things that I'm just gonna be a
Backdoor
horrible
compliment.
father. No, a horrible father about, because like I want to make sure my kids like think critically of things, and so I don't always want to tell them like. So I definitely want them to believe in Santa Claus and things like that, but there are some things that I just would like them to think more critically about. And again, there's another
No, you don't.
picture on the internet.
You want
Saying
them.
these things, no,
you want
don't.
You want them to essentially be as complacent as possible for as long as possible. The sooner they start critically thinking and thinking they know everything, the sooner everything goes to hell.
I
See,
don't know.
it's funny to say that because how critical
Well,
thinking is Azure really?
So there's
she
like-
thinks she's super critical. That's the problem.
so there's things
Interesting.
where she'll be like, I want to go
Oh
over
yeah,
to.
comic. Did we interrupt you?
No, you guys can keep going. It's fine. Keep going. I don't want to interrupt the conversation.
That would be rude.
I
Keep
would
going,
be.
Kylie.
I don't want to interrupt Kylie because she didn't interrupt
Yeah,
me.
she didn't know.
Don't look at me.
You helped.
It's true.
Kylie didn't. So I don't want to interrupt her. Continue.
Anyways, so there will be kids that Azure plays with outside. Like, I'll let her go play outside and she'll play with other kids in our apartment complex. And she'll come home and say, Mommy, I want to go and play at this person's house. Can I go and play in their house? And my reaction is, well, no, I don't even know who this kid is that you've discovered today, let alone their parents or where they live. So no, you cannot. And so I let her know, like, well, I don't know their mommy, so no, you can't go over there. So then Azure's next step is, well, come out and meet them then. Because she's critically thinking. She's saying, here's the solution to this problem.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm busy, or I actually don't want to meet this kid's parents because I don't think this kid is a good influence, and so I also want to get Azure away from them.
Yep.
And so, no, you cannot play with them anymore because they're a snot. But I can't tell her that, because then she'll go back out and say, my mommy said I can't play with you because you're a snot. And so there's
Well, they'll
just...
stop playing with her.
But there's just certain things you can't say, like,
Yeah.
no, you can't go play over in that person's house because I don't know if their dad is actually a pedophile. I don't know them. They don't know
That's
me.
a scary thought.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
So there's just certain things like that. Like, I let her play with our neighbor that's upstairs, like in his apartment. I've met his mom. I've met the kid. And if anything goes wrong, I can hear her
That's true.
through the floor. But I don't let her play with, like, kids in other buildings inside their houses.
And so the big problem with Azure is she thinks semi-critically, but she's also pig-headed because she's a kid. And so it gets to the point where she thinks she has it figured out. You say otherwise, but because she's so pig-headed, she's like, no, I know. And she starts to fight you about it. And you can't... And
There are just certain explanations you can't
give her. You know, she just doesn't accept those. Whereas when I first started hanging out with Azure a couple years ago, anything I said, she just right away
Because
went
he was an
with
adult.
Because I was an adult. So back to you, Alan.
So Alan's going to be
Critically
a good dad,
thinking.
but the way that he's going to raise his kids is that he wants them to be critical thinking. But it reminded him of a...
Something on the internet.
So there was this comic where this guy was telling of an experience where when he was young, his father had done this certain thing about bedtime. So like the kid was getting ready to go to sleep, and he's like, "Dad, can't you close the closet door? I don't want any monsters to come through." And the dad was like, "Well, what makes you think they can't use doorknobs?" And I always
Oh my
That's
gosh.
horrible.
right? That's not what you want to say.
Oh my
That's not what you
gosh.
tell children.
I don't like. That's the thing. It's like it's a horrible thing to tell children, but it really makes you think. Like, what makes children think that they can't? Like that's
you tell them this. You
An
say,
adult telling them that they can't.
yeah, the adult says, if the door is closed, they can't come through the door. It's just how it is. Azure was having problems sleeping. I told her I was a certified monster hunter to get
And I'm
her
his
to,
apprentice.
to get her to sleep better at night.
Wow.
I told her that when she was older, I would teach her, and then I showed her my samurai sword in the red sheath and said, "This is my monster fighting sword."
Wow.
No.
You develop
Wow.
these little things
These
that
lies?
help her sleep at night. Yeah.
You don't
That's
show
all.
her weapons though.
No, she knows not to use the
Not
weapon.
until like she's like really scared of like a monster.
And she
She's like,
says, "I know
where I
weapons."
can get the sword.
and then it turns out to be her
Okay.
uncle that was
The
stopping
sword-
by
the
to
sword-
drop something off.
The sword is not in a place she can easily access it, and she
Is
is.
it-
You gotta have the sheath in
Okay.
one part of the house and the sword in another part of the house.
This is how
'Cause
you
if you
protect
put them
yourself.
together, she can just like kill anyone.
Yeah, you've
The
got to be
sheath
careful.
and
You've
the
got
sword.
you've got to prepare
Azure's
for
not
no. You've got to
idiot.
prepare for a burglar. You got to make sure all the ammunition is on one side of the house and your gun is next to your bed, so you can run through the house when you know there's a burglar inside to stop him.
Yeah, yeah. No, it.
Hey, stop there! This thing could be loaded.
Well, that's the thing. You point a
Sideways,
gun
it's
at
a kill
them.
shot.
It's sideways. Anyways,
And like I would be, I agree with you though. Like you gotta like at least make them think critically.
Did you have
Well,
more
you
to
can,
that?
like-
you can introduce critical
Like-
thought when they're older,
But-
and they're not so freaked out all the time.
As long as they,
Impressionable.
and it depends too, like what kind of like environment you've created for them. Because if like you've ruled by fear and like what you say goes all the time, then you probably condition them to know that it's like I'm not gonna get my way or something like that, even if
Well,
I
but
try
that's
to.
that's the thing. That's the thing. At
So
their
tyrant,
at their age, they don't see, oh, he's trying to, be in charge as a parent. What they see is, oh my gosh, he's a bad guy. He's against me now, and then it develops that idea where they don't trust you. They just know you're there to rule them.
See, that's why you make sure that they don't trust closets instead. If
Can
you
I
tell
play
them
with that kid? There are monsters in your closet.
if you tell them a monster can open up the door and they come and sleep with you in your bed for a few days and no monsters come and get them, then they know you're their protector. And
No,
it's
then
a
they
monster.
know your bed is safe
Yeah,
and there's no
then they're
monsters
coming
in
in-
your closet
Then
and
they're
they
coming
sleep with
in
you
to
every
sleep in
night.
your bed.
No. So you
I
tell
like
do
how
you know-
both of you went.
Do you know how long? Do you know how long it took Azure to stop coming into our room every night? It took her almost 2 months.
I bet it took almost 2 months. I do know how long, Daniel. Don't you ask me.
Well, that was at this apartment, let alone like at my old apartment and at my mother's house and before that
Yeah,
apartment, our
I
other
mean-
apartment. Every time we've moved, it's had to be a new problem because it's a new location.
Which makes sense a little bit. Like, I don't know where this is happening, but I read that at least 12 babies a year are getting, like, given to the wrong parents.
What?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I've heard that
What
too.
the heck?
Like, that would be scary to have, like, happen.
It's
You're, like, in the
he looks
delivery
like
room
you.
and
I
they're
don't
like-
think he does.
He's Chinese.
Well, I don't think it's that obvious.
But
Well, I
what
know,
if the
but-
probable
But what if
probability?
you were like, what if they, like, gave it to you and they're like, no, that is, like, they're like, that's your baby.
I mean, what other baby could it be?
It's like, we can't
That's
just
your
give you
name.
someone else's
Then they
baby.
could
This
do a
is your
paternity
baby.
test.
But who knows?
But what
to
if
do
their
that?
baby is gone?
Until it's
What if their
12 years
baby was
old.
given to the
We're-
wrong
we're-
person?
Well, then you.
What if you can't find your baby?
No,
at
then
that
you
point?
assume that whoever that baby belonged to has your baby, and if not, you take that baby and you say, "Who did this person belong to?" It's a stringy thing. What it is it's babies that are, that look like they match the parents, and so nobody
You
even
can't tell
thinks
if a
about
baby.
When
gives
you're
a new-
Okay,
born,
if
there are
it's an
defining
Asian
factors.
baby
It
with
gives a
white
new-
parents, I'm pretty sure you can tell.
It gives a
just
new
say-
appreciation for the sentence "I wasn't planned"
Yeah.
for these parents.
But like, I always thought that too. Like, I was like, what if they like named you guys like right like when you guys like were birthed, and they're like, oh, this one's Daniel, this one's Alan, and then they
They
like go
switched
put
it.
you in the thing, and then like one nurse like real quickly like grabs you one day, and then she's like, oh yeah, this was Daniel, and this one was Alan.
We had wrist
No,
bracelets.
Alan.
We had
Alan.
Daniel.
Listen to yourself right now, Alan.
we had bracelets
We
around.
keep
our-
interrupting Daniel all the time. I'm so sorry, Daniel.
I built an identity for myself as Alan. You can't take that away from me.
Besides, even if we were named differently
Right.
as children, the fact that now we associate with Daniel all of that everything. I'm Daniel.
But what did you miss?
Yeah, like-
you could have
like,
been Alan.
Don't you? Do you think names affect your life at
I do.
all?
I do. I actually.
So what if
do.
you grew up being an Alan, Daniel?
Yeah. See, Alan, I think
Wait,
think
what?
Alan fits better for me. I think that name is
Now,
more
'cause
indicative.
you
No,
were forced.
just based on its definition of the name, I think it fits better for me.
And Daniel, the definition of Daniel,
What is Daniel?
the one,
The
the
one.
only, the almighty. Go check Urban Dictionary, the first one.
But that's Urban Dictionary.
Awesome.
I'm
I know,
talking
I'm
about
just
like
kidding.
I think Todd
Like
was a
the
good fit for
actual
me.
translation.
yeah, the actual
you
translation.
mean Levi?
Yeah. Denim. Denim was a good.
Yeah.
That's the definition. Gene Co.
I think in New Zealand, like Aborigine, my name translates to the boomerang.
Yeah.
That could be like a
I'm gonna go
cool
throw my
name.
Kylie.
She'll come
She
back.
always
It's
keeps
okay.
coming back.
So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but squirrels are actually pretty cruel creatures.
Why are you paying such
Even
close
more
attention
so
to
than
squirrels?
prime-
Don't you have a girlfriend?
Praying mantis.
No,
Yeah.
no. Think about this. A
You saying
squirrel,
that's a crueler
a
creature.
squirrel takes the babies of a tree, brings it up into that same tree, and
Okay,
then
trees don't
eats it.
feel.
Okay, Alan.
How
Alan,
cruel
we
is that?
covered- We
Oh.
covered chicken in the embryonic juices of their babies, and then put them in breadcrumbs and throw them in the
Dude,
oven.
that's just gross.
That
Who's
makes
crueler?
us cruel.
Yeah,
But-
crueler
It makes
than
me-
squirrels.
But squirrels
That makes
can't
me
be
Praying
cruel.
want to eat a
mantises
lot of KFC.
will like
That sounds
kill their brothers
delicious.
and sisters until there's only like a handful of them left.
Black widows kill their
I was
mates.
gonna say that. I was so about.
Yeah,
to
but
say
think about how cute squirrels are. That's pretty horrible.
Alan, it's a seed. It's technically not a baby. It's technically
It hasn't
even-
it's
Embryo.
technically
It could have
No,
been.
it's not an
Daniel.
embryo.
It could have
They're
been.
tree stem cells.
Yeah.
But where
Stem
does
cells,
where
huh?
does the tree's life start?
Yeah. Where does it? Does it start at
At the
growing,
drop.
or at the drop on the ground, or when it starts to grow its first
First
seed
germination.
These are the questions we ask.
Well, and like
Stop being cruel to trees. Stop. End
Tree
tree
cruelty.
I like
They have fingernails.
lately I've not necessarily vegetarianism like in general, but like just eating right has become like more attractive to me because like all like these chefs and everything they want the pigs or like the cows that have been fed like well they
Properly.
don't and you can taste it like in the meat
Mhm.
that
Are you
they've been
getting eaten?
well, that's the thing. Like, like that's even if maybe if I not eaten, but I'm sure like if I eat correctly, I'm not gonna get like sick as much, or I'm going to experience like things inside me will happen where I will taste better, and maybe that taste is gonna help me
Survive.
like
Healthier.
physically, yeah,
Why you say
'Cause, like,
is the
because-
tastier the meat, the healthier the human.
yeah.
So Aaron thinks he's more delicious than the rest of us.
No,
Aaron thinks he's a tasty
However,
piece of meat.
I've got a tasty now.
I don't think it works in that way, Aaron.
Well, but that's the thing. I'm just saying things you eat can affect you internally.
Yeah.
And so if you're eating correctly, like you might
Well,
experience better.
Look at
Internal
Aaron. Aaron
well-being.
probably has a lot more lean meat, which generally tastes better. Whereas I have fat. You know? So
Oh my
Which
God.
also tastes
I would
good.
be fat.
but-
My fat would be good.
For all the alien overlords who are
Oh my
listening to this
gosh.
and wondering who would be the best ones to eat.
Alan, definitely a good choice.
Oh my gosh.
Me? Why?
You're not
you're like
quite as
skin
you're
and
like
bone.
you're
Veals.
not quite as lean,
I don't-
but
You're
I have
baby
no
cat.
muscle and no fat. Like I'm
That's
skinny
what
as
people
fuck.
want.
That's like a baby cow that's never been allowed to like move or stand their whole lives.
I know, I hate it so much. Stupidest
Wow.
thing.
All right.
And none of that sad.
Well, we've
note.
already talked about cannibalism,
Do we have-
so it's a natural like.
do we have a happier note to end on? I heard something
Yes.
about bad or
Oh, okay. So, would you rather have free, fastest internet for the time period you're living in? So, like, if Armageddon, something happened and there's no internet, you're not going to have internet. But you get the best free, and it's free for life, or become
10
a
gig internet.
billionaire, but you can never use the internet again.
Ooh.
Oh.
All of us like, what would I do?
no, that's
Go
a
to
good
the
question.
library.
It's not that I couldn't.
No, what would I do?
It's not that I couldn't entertain myself.
Yeah.
It's that part of my appeal for being rich is to be able to do all the things I want, and part of that involves the internet.
And there's not loopholes where you can get like you're like tweaking. Hey, can you just log on to Facebook for me real quick?
So you can't have someone else
Yeah,
use the internet
Like,
for you?
if you look at
While
the
you
screen
witness.
and like
It's
you can look
blank.
at a computer screen and like as long as it's not doing anything on the internet, you're doing fine. But then the second like you go into a browser, it's just like fuzzy screen.
Somebody comes home one day, like in your mansion, and you're just sitting there, like clicking on your laptop, like click, 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 and they're like, "What are you doing? You can't use the internet." It's Paint. I'm using Paint.
Would someone okay, how about this? I got a question.
Someone could like install stuff onto your computer from like the internet
for
and
me.
then they could give it to you.
So like if I wanted to play games on my computer, I could have someone else install them,
Yeah.
and if they're already installed, I can play them.
Yes.
I can't play Final Fantasy 14.
No.
Damn it.
No. And the games wouldn't be able to in any way show
Yeah.
you like scores of others
Yeah.
or anything like that. However, you've got to understand at the same time.
You're a billionaire.
Yeah, I
So-
could travel the world.
But what about transferring? Emailing technically shouldn't work because that happens
Yeah,
over
email
the
won't
internet. Which
So
also
wait,
means if
what
there's
about
anything
cell
on your
You can't
computer.
you can't tell someone to type up an email for you and do
You
it.
can
Or,
you can have someone probably.
So,
type
However,
it.
you can't something
just-
that I do here. I
would-
see something I like and I say I want to transfer this over to this area. That that
Like
one's-
you could
well, no,
sit and
because-
watch someone do an email, but all you're gonna see is just a fuzzy screen.
but they
For
can
you.
tell you what they had been said, and then you can dictate to them.
Yeah.
I'd be a billionaire then. I mean, I could buy.
Like you can never watch another YouTube video.
No,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
fine.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, you can never watch another YouTube video and like nothing,
What?
no web pages.
What
What
if
if they downloaded it on
they
the flash
download
drive?
the
No,
YouTube video? So you can't save the YouTube video and have it just be an
Like
MP4 on the
if someone
computer.
gave you like the original copy of the video.
Yeah, anything that has
Anything that's like really, really
related to the internet.
internet, yeah, like
No more
strongly.
Pirate Bay. No more uTorrent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well-
I mean anything like I could just buy it. Like I could just have someone buy it for me. Like if I want something, I could just go, "You, go pick this up for me," and they'll go pick it up.
Can I have
Well-
my own servers that create a like test server internet in my house?
Like so you can still like
Limited
manufacture
internet-
web pages.
internet?
Like make web
Well,
pages?
like
And
let's
this-
say
we can't-
let's say I create my
How-
own personal internet, but it's not connected to the internet, but allows me to create web pages, or if I got bought from Final Fantasy 14, the server data, I could play Final Fantasy
then you just
14.
By
Be
yourself?
alone.
You can have your
But I
friends
could have
come
my
over
friends play
A
on
LAN
my
party.
server.
That's internet
Can you
based.
create your own server?
But it would be my own server. It would have nothing to do with the current internet.
With WAN, but LAN is still a type of internet connection.
It's not. It's a type of computer connection, but it's not.
We're talking.
It's a
Let's
network
say
connection.
World Wide
It's a
Web
network-
instead of
Okay, network
internet.
connection. So
Are we talking about network connections,
Or are we talking about the
World Wide Web?
I would say network.
Like we're talking about like World Wide Web, but also maybe like you could maybe make a small network, maybe. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, I don't want to make
So
it easy
we're
for you
thinking-
guys to choose a billionaire. Like
We're
it's
thinking
supposed to be
billionaire
like-
here, but just how great is being a billionaire now? Is it
Well,
really
think
a
about
set
it.
for
We
life?
could buy a house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
you
it's a
travel
set
the
for life.
world. Yeah, you're set for life if you're
Are you
smart
really,
about it.
though?
Yeah,
If you're
If
smart
you're
about
smart
it.
If you
about it,
put
yeah.
it in a bank account, you could live out the
Interest. Yeah, you buy a reasonable house, a reasonable car. You know, you save like $2 million for fun and traveling. Put the rest away and live off the interest. Man, you'd be set. You'd have 95
Well, what would
million.
you put it in?
Hmm.
Because if the bank fails,
I'd probably just put it in like a savings account. If the bank fails, the money's useless anyways, whether it's in the bank or not. But a bank account, if you're earning 1% interest on that, you're earning $900,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know. I
Okay.
mean, even if you were
I-
earning 0.1%.
so let's start going on the opposite side. So fastest internet for the remainder
So,
of your
like,
life.
gigabit?
Just you?
So
no,
just-
no.
Whatever the fastest is for the time.
Yeah.
Well, right
'cause-
now,
Yeah.
gigabit.
Yeah.
Well, I think the question is the fastest as of right now, or as it gets faster, we still have
you
access
will
to whatever
always
the
have-
fastest
You
is.
will always have the
So
fastest, and it's free.
You
for
are
the-
the one that has it,
It'll
or
be
everyone?
for whatever house you reside in.
Okay.
For the whole household.
Yes.
Play Final Fantasy 14 on that.
I'd probably do the internet one then, because I have a job
Yeah.
enough and.
Well, that's the thing. Is my life right now. What I want to do with my life involves the internet. You
Yeah.
know.
Specifically,
Yeah, I
almost exclusively.
Without the internet, all the things I'm trying to do.
But you'd
I
be a
have one
billionaire,
extra
so you
question.
could do other things.
The internet you have, do you pay for it?
No, it's free.
That was that
Okay,
was my
fine.
next
Then
one.
I
I'd
would
do
just
the
go
That's the
with
thing is,
internet.
I don't want money. What I want out of life is to wake up every morning
Fulfillment.
and go to work with you guys. That's all.
But
I
$1
want.
billion could allow that.
$1 billion.
And we
I
could do the internet
But
stuff.
that's
Daniel,
the
you
thing.
could
Oh,
be
yeah.
the
You
could be
could
the
be the
mind man.
billionaire.
We'll all
We'll do
choose
it for
internet. You choose
We'll
the
just
money.
say, Daniel, this looks really
If-
good.
But I
Sure
want
you
to be
see
able
it.
to experience it all with you guys.
If we were all given the opportunity, you guys can take internet, and I'll take the billion and
Oh,
support us.
look who takes the bullet.
I don't need the internet.
She has her
Why
cosplays
don't we?
and she can just
Why don't
watch
we
it.
all do it and Azure can get the billion?
No.
That's,
She's
That's
that's
just
not
too
fair. She
subjective.
doesn't
Elizabeth.
know what she's giving up.
No, she uses the internet more than I do.
All right.
One of you guys needs
Who-
to just marry
we need to
someone.
we need to
that-
find someone that's like internet. No, Ron.
hermit?
We need to find a Ron Swanson.
A hermit?
But it needs to be someone who would give
To
their
Africa.
Money to us.
Yeah, that's true.
We've been living without the
Well,
internet.
on that note, I think we should call this
Mail order
podcast.
bride.
What
Well,
should we
actually,
call it? What should we call it?
Levi, I want to know what you mean by bad fortune cookies.
What?
That's the only thing he has on here, but I want to know what it means.
So what if all the fortune cookies were bad fortunes and they actually came true? It was back when we ate at that one place and it said you should be more careful with your friends or something. You're like, don't tell me how to live my life. Give me a fortune.
Yeah, right.
What if that was
What if
giving you some
what
insight?
What?
Just,
Yeah.
You
what
really
if you
should.
very rarely got fortune cookies, but when you did, they were bad and they were right.
Yeah.
So like something like, don't take a trip soon, and you're planning to go to Hawaii.
Like you've already bought the plane tickets
Yeah.
and paid for the hotel in advance.
And you're like,
just
oh,
what?
it's
What?
it's
What?
nothing. And you go there, and there's this like the volcano explodes so badly that
You die.
You
Well, like,
don't die,
like
but it's just the worst
who's-
trip in your
who's
life.
making these bad fortune cookies?
Find the
A
company.
psychic?
A psychic somewhere?
It just happens like.
All of the cookies are blank.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The
Yeah.
magic.
So that
gets
way-
written on.
But who makes the cookie?
Who makes the magic?
Where is this
This is
coming
magic.
But that way it's not like, here's this pile of cookies.
from? Yeah.
Choose your
No,
fate.
got it.
No,
Whichever
let's
one you
say-
grab is yours.
Let's say tomorrow, okay, a magical phenomenon happened.
Phenomena.
All the current fortune cookies become blank and magical, and
How do we know they're
hold on.
blank until we open them?
Yeah, no, people start opening it, and that's how they find out. But initially,
poor people.
initially they're all blank, and they can't make any more. So now we have a reserve
Limited supply.
of fortune cookies, and so there are special occasions or things that happen where you get a fortune cookie, but each time.
But you don't want them
open
now
it-
because it's going to give you a bad fortune.
Let's just say.
Or it's just foresight. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not saying the cookie causes the problem. It's
Let's
giving
just-
you a heads up what's gonna happen.
And so people started using them to try to beat, the system. You open yours and you see it and you try to beat it, but
Where are they
whatever
hiding the
you
whole
do-
stash?
Let's just say.
Area
Let's say
51.
Google. Let's say Google
Google.
gathered them all up initially because they saw how big a thing this could be, and so now they distribute.
If anyone
them out.
would, it would be Google.
Yeah.
If they're feeding everything.
Yeah.
And so you open it up and it says, you will.
Risky. Don't go for risky business adventures. No.
God damn it.
Anyways,
A
that
risky
was my
business venture will not pay off.
That would
Just
be.
open it, it's
that
like-
would be a good movie.
Did you enjoy your fall?
You're like, what?
That just happened.
and then it changes and it says, ha ha. Well, on that note, I think we can call it. So this was the
Panda.
Podcast.
Featuring
Daniel.
Alan.
Aaron.
and Kylie.
Yeah. Funny note, I like fortune cookies.
Squirrels.